Hello and welcome to another episode of my Productivity Mastery Series. My name is Carl Pullein, and in this episode I want to just point out some of the problems that you will have if you're duplicating all your tasks. Now, what I mean by that is I get a lot of responses saying, how can I do this and that and the other? And what it seems to me is that people are wanting to keep duplicating tasks that they want to do. Now, let me just give you a really simple example. Every Friday afternoon, I record these videos. Now, I schedule time between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Friday afternoons to record my YouTube videos. Now, that is a task, record YouTube videos, but it's not in my task manager. That time is scheduled on my calendar. I don't also need to have a task in my Todoist, which is my to-do list manager of choice, as well as also having the scheduled time in my calendar. But what I'm finding people are doing is they're scheduling time on their calendar to do a task, and they write report between, say, 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And then they also write the same task on their to-do list manager. Well, now you've gone and duplicated it, and you're going to have to start checking things off. And you can also start getting quite a bit confused if you now get a meeting at that time. Instead, if you're doing something like the report and you really want to have the task contained within a project within your task list manager, then just schedule some focus time on your calendar. It does give you a lot more flexibility, and you're not duplicating the task. Now, the same thing happens with email. Now, email seems to be a whole minefield of problems for people. Now, let me just keep this as simple as I possibly can. Let's say I get an email that requires an urgent response. I'm going to need to respond to that particular email before 5 p.m. on this particular day. Now, when I get an email like that, if I don't have time to deal with it immediately, or I need to get some information from somewhere else, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send that email to my Todoist inbox. Now, the reason I do that is quite simply is the fact that I know I'm going to be checking my Todoist inbox before 5 p.m. on that day. So I will see that particular email. But what I usually find is my brain is already alerting me that I have a very urgent email that is time sensitive. Now, if I can obviously deal with that email immediately, I'm going to deal with it immediately and just get it done. I'm not going to put it anywhere. I'm just going to respond, send, forget about it. But sometimes, as I say, you need a little extra time to gather some information, or you're just rushing off to a meeting or something like that. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to dump that into your into your to-do list manager's inbox, and then you can go to your meeting. When you come out of your meeting, check your inbox. It's going to be there. You don't also need to start putting that on your calendar and also flagging it in your email program and big alerts, because, well, it's not necessary. And then once you've dealt with it, now you have to check it off in your to-do list manager, and then you have to unflag it in your email. And oh, this is when things start building up, because you're going to miss one of those things. You're not going to unflag it. You're not going to remove it from your to-do list manager's inbox. And that's when you start getting long lists of things. Now, the whole point of being productive is becoming more efficient. Efficiency is the key here, and if you only need to put a task in one place, the place that you know you're going to look at, then you don't need to put it anywhere else. Obviously, if you're working on a presentation file or an Excel file or a Word document, then of course that document is going to be held within your files, but the task related to that work can be in just one place, and you just put it on your calendar. You don't need it in your to-do list manager, or you can put it into your calendar, and you don't need it on your to-do list manager. I think I just said that. Or you can put it into your to-do list manager and you don't need it on your calendar. You know what I mean. But that's basically what you want to be doing. Don't duplicate your tasks. Now, the same thing goes with goals. Now, I have recently done a video, and I'll put a link up there for you if you want to see it, on planning 2019. Now, at the moment, what we're doing is we're planning in Evernote. I'm planning in Evernote. You might be planning in a different note-taking application, but you're planning everything and it's all dumped in there. And you're going to end up with quite a lot of tasks at the end of this process. Now what you would do is those tasks either stay in the note and you use the note as your reference for your goals for the year, or you can divide them into different projects and put them into your to-do list. It's an either or. You don't want to be doing both because now you're duplicating and it's incredibly inefficient. So the main point of this week's episode is have a look at your systems, find out if you're duplicating tasks anywhere. If you are, then ask yourself which one are you going to remove. Just have it in one place. You don't need it in 3 or 4 different places. You're going to find that your list will get shorter if you're putting everything into your to-do list manager. You're going to find that everything just starts working a lot more smoothly. But this is one of the key areas, and I suppose you've got to really understand this about any productivity system. Whatever you're doing, your inbox, where you're collecting all your stuff, does need to be something you trust. If you don't trust it, that's why you end up duplicating it. So the issue probably goes a little bit deeper and it's more to do with a trust issue. Figure out why you don't trust your inbox, whichever inbox you're using, and then solve that problem and just use one place. You don't need to duplicate, it just means that you're doing double the amount of work. Okay, thank you very much for watching this episode. It just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked what you saw and you would like to learn more about becoming better organized and more productive, then get yourself enrolled in my free beginner's guide to creating your own COD system. And if you'd like to learn more about how I can help you, then visit my website at carlpauline.com. All the details are in the show notes below.